Ladies and gentlemen, hello, my name is Insane Frame and welcome on into the channel. If any of you have been a long time follower of the channel in the early days, you'll notice I used a powerfist as my first challenge video in New Vegas. So today we asked a simple question: can you beat Fallout 4 with a powerfist? Now, it's no lie, the powerfist is a great weapon and can deal a heck of a lot of damage. However, as with many challenge runs that have good equipment, the challenge will be getting the powerfist in the first place. We can either level up or go and find a powerfist, or we can try our luck with Swan, who is very big, mean, but he does drop a legendary powerfist, so there is that to consider. As for the build, it's actually very straightforward. We're going to be going for as much health and strength as possible, so we can go around and punch things in the face for as long as possible. A simple plan for a simple build, but as for getting the powerfist, well, that is going to be the main obstacle for this run. And well, with the intro sorted, let's dive quickly into the rules. First off, we can only attack with the power fist. Secondly, we cannot do any glitches or exploits. Thirdly, no cheating or modding. And finally, we're playing on very hard difficulty. So everything's set, it's time to get the ball rolling. We start our run, the usual meeting Codsworth and making sure everything is going well. He offers us a cup of tea, although it's not tea, it's actually coffee, so but we do the standard and make our way to the vault since, well, the nukes drop, and it's that time of the video where Kellogg Cornflakes shoots Nora, our wife. Our story begins, so we get unfrozen, and the revenge arc is real. We take the wedding ring off Nora, however, the first time I actually figured a way to deal with the rad roaches without locking them out. We go next to the power banks and they can actually kill the rad roaches without us attacking them, which actually makes for a hilarious sequence since we can heal up from the sink and just keep letting them get electrocuted, so isn't that nice? Once we make it through the vault, we get our Pip-Boy and of course open the vault. And many of you have noticed we haven't made our character yet, so we decide to change a few things. We go for 10 strength, 10 endurance, 2 agility and of course 3 luck. We got out that bloody mess perk, people. It's an absolute staple in these runs. And we also need that extra blood and gore when punching people in the face. Also, we call ourselves Johnny Ironhand, Cyberpunk and 40k in a single character, or just a broke Johnny Silverhand with a bit of Ironhand chapter from 40k. You can be the judge there. Anyway, now that we're out the vault, we have our stats and we get ourselves some salvage from Sanctuary to shore up our caps as we journey around. We get a random encounter, and since we can't attack, we have to say kill the poor bugger of a man, but turns out he was a sim, so we faceplant him in the pot, but some ghouls decide to block our path. They move fast, so we lure them back to the random encounter, allowing the NPCs to deal with them since attacking would be against the rules. After walking a little around Boston, we bump into some enemies, do the only thing we can and run away, narrowly dodging death there, but we get to Good Neighbor where Hancock decides to stab Finn and we decide to loot his road levers, and then we get ourselves some levers from Cleo and we have everything we need for now, or at least as much as we can get. So rather than search for a power fist on the way to Diamond City, we decide to go up against Swan. A absolutely foolish move, as it goes about as well as you'd expect. We get Swan in the enemy's line of fire to damage him and we die a lot, and I mean an awful lot, courtesy of the super mutants. They are apparently really strong. Swan just doesn't really care since his health bar is humongous and just takes the beating like a champ. Mike Tyson would be proud, but we hide away and even Swan is not amused since he almost comes through the wall, and as you guess, we just keep dying. So Swan is clearly out of our league and just an absolute beast. Fallout lets us know the Freedom Trail is being followed, so thanks game. However, we die, so decide to make a change of plans. Our first stop is of course the Boston Public Library to nab the intelligence bobblehead so we can get a touch more XP, but the main sell of this place is the security, as they can attack for us and wipe out a lot of the super mutants, and when the bullets and lasers fly around the place, the mutants drop and we loot the mutants for the spoils of war. Gotta get them extra caps, people, you know, any way we can. We then return to Sanctuary and make our way to the Red Rocket truck stop to get our secret weapon, the one, the only, the good boyo, you all know him, you love him, Dogmeat. We're going to try and use him, but first we get the Freedom Calls quest and get enough experience to level up, allowing us to get armor rank 1. This allows us to make studded leather armor, and your bet we're making some armor here, and Piper is very happy with it, so thanks Piper, I guess. We go to the doctor in Diamond City and buy as many stim packs as we can get our hands on. This is going to be vastly important, and well, we go back to Swan for round 2. Dogmeat gets an absolute pounding, and it's so heartbreaking to watch Dogmeat get absolutely destroyed, but we do get some damage off on him since Dogmeat is carrying the run, and we have to dodge, dip, duck, dive and dodge our way through Swan. He takes a ton of damage. Gotta give it to Dogmeat. He's been an excellent doggo as usual, because he is the bestest doggo in all the wasteland, and he is taking a lot of stim packs to heal up. And Dogmeat, after over 20 stim packs and Swan being a tough cookie, we finally take him down, allowing us to loot the one, the only furious powerfist, making this run a whole lot easier. Once we grabbed our gubbins, it's then time to equip them and head on into the Park Street station. So we decide to test our luck, and well, it doesn't go particularly well, but we do grab the perk Cannibal. Now, Cannibal is an interesting perk as we can eat humanoids to restore health, letting us save on stim pack and allowing us to press on. But the main key here is it lets us heal mid-battle. So we eat enough corpses to push back the triggermen and get our health up to scratch, and we go through hammering their delicate little faces into oblivion, making sure they're nice and tenderized before eating them. Eventually we get through more triggermen, and Dino then wants to talk big, so we show him our Iron Fist, not Marvel related by the way, and we free Valentine and say how do you do, since Todd wants us to find our son. Although I think Johnny doesn't really have a son, but anywho, we face punch more triggermen, and then we get to Skinny Malone, who thinks he's a rock star, and oh how wrong he is. We show him how badly he has decided to underestimate us, and we take out his lackeys in a straight 1, 2, 3 punches, letting us pancake the 2 of these lackeys. Our Fist of Iron Fury doesn't stop there, since Darla has a bat, but she is outgunned and outdone since she is pancaked onto the floor. Then it's Skinny Malone, and we throw him off stage to be forgotten like the breakfast he is, although Kellogg has that honour, but with his body broken in half from hydraulic iron, we are victorious. We then have Valentine thanks like the half rockstar, half iron hand amputee that we are, and we go to Valentine's office. We do the standard answering questions, then go steal the keys from the secretary's desk, break into Kellogg's house, then find everything we need. Nick is wonderful since he decides Dogmeat is required, and since Dogmeat is man's best friend, we decide it's time to upgrade our equipment before we go to Fort Hagen. When all is said and done, we're ready to face Kellogg. We have a couple of level ups to dish out. First things first, we get Iron Fist rank 1 since it gives a 20% damage boost. Can't argue with that. Secondly, we go with Rooted, a perk I don't really go for in these runs, but we get plus 25 damage resistance and 25% more damage if we stand still, which you rarely do in Fallout, but with all the solid damaging perks, it's going to be amazing. So we run for a radiation storm, find a place to sleep and cook. So with everything done, we start assaulting the defences in Fort Hagen. With the sun shining down on us, it's an absolutely amazing display. But inside Fort Hagen, we get a taste of the Institute with their simps. And well, they actually don't really stand a chance since hydraulic metal does the job super well. We may not have a silver hand, but we do have our iron hand to make craters in their little faces. As we go through the gauntlet, the Institute are taking loss after loss, left, right and centre. Kellogg Cornflakes is boasting for whatever reason over the intercom about how we are a TV dinner, but little does he know we are carving through his synthetic army and just destroy them outright. They can't stop us. Then we get to Mr. Cornflakes, and well, we just run around and smash our way to victory. First his bodyguards, then Kellogg himself. The innuendos are very, very real. And once he has some ground and pound, we get to the terminal and realise Swan has been kidnapped. However, Johnny has had no children, so it doesn't really make sense. However, Todd says we have, so, we have to go after him as it moves the story forward. However, we then have the Pridwin forwarding us to Act do. So now we have to pick a faction, and the Railroad are a bit uptight. The Brotherhood is not going to happen since Johnny deserted from the army. So Minutemen it is, because they're all for the freedom. The Institute is like Arasaka, so kind of fits the bill really. We also get a level up and decide to go for Medic to once again save on stim packs, putting us in a strong position since Medic makes your stim packs and Radaway a bit more effective, which is always nice. But back in Diamond City, Nick and Piper wish to speak to us, so Nick says he wants to go to the memory den. However, Piper offers us an interview, and well, what can I say? We are Johnny Ironhand, time for some publicity. So naturally, we pick all the funny and controversial answers. Piper isn't too impressed, but we say get revenge and destroy any that stand in your way. A very, very lovely thing, just like someone would say in Night City. Next, we decide to go to the Museum of Freedom, and we do more punchy punch and fist bumping and knocking people's blocks off, the standard stuff. They don't know what hit them. Preston sees us, but we ignore him and grab the important thing, the perception bobblehead. Preston and co decide to tell us off for not giving them polite answers, but we are a capable brawler. So we set off, and unfortunately, the Deathclaw decides to use rudeness, the opposite of manners, but it gets a few punches in the front of the Brotherhood of Steel as they carve it down with lasers, and we get hydraulic fisty fist, making the Deathclaw fall, and without missing a beat, we go to Preston, who then offers us to join up, but pays us first. This makes us now allies with the Minutemen in Sanctuary, so we accept. Our first task is gaining settlements so we can progress the Minutemen quest line. So we get a couple of easy places under our belt by killing the residents. Underhanded, yes, but it certainly gets the job done. And the settlement also wants us to pay a ransom, and once again, because we've got a punchy punch weapon, we've actually got quite a few caps since we're not spending it on ammo. So it's an easy settlement to acquire. Then we have to do a circuit to the Tappington Boathouse and of course Hangman Alley. Quite a few settlements to say the least, so Preston should be really happy, and Johnny's rep is skyrocketing. Managed to get a couple of level ups, so we decide to go for Iron Fist rank 2, so we get 40% extra damage and can disarm our opponent. Lovely stuff. Also, we get Bloody Mess rank 2, so we gain an extra 10% damage. Pretty much a staple in these runs, and one of my personal favourite perks to pick, since that little bit of damage really does count. We then have Oberland Station that needs our help, and if there's something in it for us, which there is, it's then off to clear out a location. So when we get there, it's Raider Central, and we just destroy them in their hideout. Their boss, aptly named Clutch, is punched into oblivion since we clutch our finish. We then get the mission done, and we get another settlement under our thumb. Next, we decide to go to Trudy's Diner, and we won't have someone talking down to us, even if Trudy is an elderly lady. So we storm the place and let Wolfgang take over. We need our chems after all, people, and he's going to be our dealer. So thanks to Wolfgang, we level up from our experience, and it's high time we get Aqua Boys. So water no longer gives us radiation damage. A lovely perk early on, but if we're going with the Minutemen, this will be pretty useful. With all our settlements under our control, we head back to Sanctuary and go talk to Preston. He sees us and decides, yes, would make a good general, and decides another settlement needs our help. Thanks, Preston. You are... yeah. We get a gun pointed at us when we approach the settlement and take out some raiders who are quite fierce, but we let Cannibal do its thing, healing us up, coming in clutch, and then we go into an underground base. The raiders are crafty, but we nom on some corpses and decide to take the fight to them with, you guessed it, smashy with our iron hand that goes pummel, and it goes pretty well. The boss is destroyed thanks to more face punching, and we level up and get +1 charisma, gunning for Lone Wanderer. We give the good news to the settlement, reporting to Preston despite his boss, and of course he says another settlement needs our help. Cheers, Preston, you We journey back and we see a little ceremony, and it's kind of one of the random events. It's pretty touching since they're all saying a few words, but they don't realise we are a cannibal. So it's a free meal here, and you can't be fussy about food in Fallout, so nom-noms all the way home, and don't mind if we do. The settlement next to the beach want our help, and funnily enough, they're just down the road from our former meal. But they want us to go to the National Guard training yard, so it's time for us to get some payback on some former military personnel. But first, we take out some mutants, since we got a call from a nearby settlement. The super mutant butcher in this settlement, whilst tough, is disarmed, so we can take him out no problem, despite that skull being above his name. Go to the training yard, and yes, it's ghouls everywhere. I suppose it's been a while since Johnny's former comrades, but our punching does the job especially well against the legendary ghouls in the area, since there's a few of them, but a glowing one does appear and has a large health pool. But our furious power fist does increase damage after every hit, so it takes him and his friends down very, very quickly, and it's very, very satisfying. So with our side quest done to help the Minutemen, we can hand them in, and we get not one, but 2 settlements. One for the super mutants, one for the training yard. Although I do wonder if Preston knows all the settlements that need our help, and he just won't tell us. It's Preston, so it's hard to say. But when we return to Preston, he wants us to take the castle, the former Minutemen HQ. We also grab the Grognak comic and get Sean's special book to up our charisma to 3. We decide to swim across to the castle, and Aquaboy really helps here, and we meet up with the Minutemen and storm the castle. We kill many, many, many Mirelurks. They don't really stand a chance against us, since we dodge, dip, duck, dive and dodge our way to victory. A second time we've used that analogy now. I'm very sorry if you guys haven't watched Dodgeball. It's a good movie. Go watch it. But besides the point, we hit all the Mirelurks in the face, and we lay out the Mirelurks, and they are dead. However, the most difficult opponent of the run spawns, the Mirelurk Queen. Now, if we have range, this would be easy. However, we don't, and the Mirelurk Queen is an absolute beast in melee. We die quite a few times here, so we let Preston set the Mirelurk Queen on fire, whilst we do our damnedest to punch and survive, since it only takes 1 melee hit from the Mirelurk Queen, but for some reason, they don't really target us, but instead target Preston, so no complaints here. We charge in, give some punches, and that's making us victorious, and the castle is now ours. It's then over to Diamond City Market to give our armour some upgrades once again, so we can eat a bullet or 2. Since Nick has been waiting for us very patiently all this time, we decide to go to the memory den and do the memory sequence to find out that a scientist escaped by the name of Brian Virgil has escaped the Institute. So we go to Nick, and on our way out, we level up, and we decide to go for Adamantium Skeleton rank 2, so our limbs aren't going to be crippled anytime soon. And we also get Lone Wanderer, so we resist 15% damage, so now we're prepped. We say goodbye to Nick, and it's off to the Glowing Sea to see our esteemed scientist. A suit of T-51 armour has been left here by a careless person, and to be honest, I wouldn't mind doing a run. Comment down below if you'd like to see it. Anywho, we travel and beat a Deathclaw down and some Stingwings, and after we survive that ordeal, we have a platoon of feral ghouls. They say hello. Hello, feral ghouls. And of course, we stomp them into the ground, doing lots of damage. Lastly, we wrestle our second Deathclaw of the day, just outside of Virgil's cave, and we decide punchy, dead Deathclaw. And you can imagine that this pet weapon is very, very good. Then we go inside and we speak to Virgil. He says, good job, now go kill a Corsair. So that's over to Green Check Genetics. And well, Johnny Ironhand's former comrades are here. They're not at the National Training Yard. They were here all along. But they get a rude awakening since we hammered them silly and then eat them to show them we mean business, like a Big Mac meal. And when they fall beneath our fists, they just can't admit we are a badass, and they are now tasty food, so order up. When we get upstairs, the Corsair is waiting, but we hammer him in the face and he gets disarmed, so we just rough him up, take the Corsair chip, but we don't care about it because there's tasty food everywhere, so we kill the guards, nom nom on them, and leave the synth with the horrible display. Then we get to the North Church, and of course the ghouls have the standard treatment of the Johnny Ironhand. Then we have the most difficult puzzle, the dial. So we put in railroad, and while the tinfoil hat people show up and decide to interrogate us with Glory pointing a minigun, and Desdemona is curious and allows us to go in the railroad HQ. Since we have the course chip, she's more than happy for Tinker Tom to decode it, but then when it's decoded, we hand over the chip. Desdemona gives us the code, and thanks to the skills of Tinker Tom, we can now go find the Institute. So we get the code back to Virgil. He gives us the blueprints needed to build the molecular relay. We build the molecular relay, and in Sanctuary, Sturgis helps us teleport in, and hey presto, we are in the boogeyman of the Commonwealth, the Institute. A voice comes online, Father, the leader of the Institute. We go through a few corridors, and when we get to our destination, the child synth, the true villain of Fallout 4, is here, and Johnny Ironhand is a good actor. Since we select all the answers and convince the child synth we are a stranger. Father shows up and we say outright we are the Institute's enemy and want nothing to do with them. Father no doubt says we're no longer welcome here, so we make haste and get the heck out of here. When we get back to Sanctuary, Sturgis is there to receive the network scan, which we did as we went in. And with a job well done, we get a level up, getting Lone Wanderer rank 2, letting us resist 30% damage like the rock star we are. Now with everything sorted, we go straight to the castle, and Ronnie Shaw is here. She guides us to the armory below the castle, and we go on in to find Sarge, a big old Securitron. And Securitrons are our specialty. We just hammer away at him, disabling one of his arms, letting us get the upper hand. We very quickly do enough damage to put Sarge out of commission, and then Ronnie decides to crack on the computer and gets the password. Once we're in, we then find General Becker, and just for the lols, we get to wear a hat like Captain Jack Sparrow. But with all the joking aside, we get the plans for some artillery, wander around and find someone to man it, and then decide that the building should no longer exist. So the place is marked for artillery, and we complete the quest. So, yay. Preston is a little slow, and we come and say, let's go attack the Institute. We get level up and get Iron Fist rank 3, so we deal 60% more damage and have a greater chance to disarm. But the Institute attack the castle and decide to muck about. Turrets do a fantastic job for the first few waves, but we do have to pummel a few of them for sure. Them coursers are great at taking out the turrets, but we do the fisting and take some shots from the siege towers, aka the walls and turrets, and Simps and Minutemen are duking it out. As the siege goes on, it becomes easier and easier until the turning point of the Minutemen taking back the castle. We chase them away, and with the castle taken back, we go to Sturgis and he points us to the main pipe. As we make our way through the sewers, hammering away at our opponents and clawing our way through until we get through the water pipe and pop out at the main entrance using the relay to teleport everyone in. Preston gives us the pulse charge with a nuke attached to it. Not a bad way to go, honestly. So we start fighting a few simps and then decide not so fast and run for it to the maintenance hatch. Cowardly, yes, but goddamn does it make this much easier. We go straight into bioscience, and in bioscience it's much the same as we take the fight to the Institute and the gorillas just don't want to play nice. However, we push through and get to the main plaza since the gorillas like getting punched in the face. Everyone gathers up and we do what we do best. We go for the 10th round of the day, smushing and pancaking all the simps, all the units into the ground without too much trouble. Honestly, it's just a lot of fun and it's absolutely brilliant. This run is just fantastic. Then the elevator comes down, we go on over. Father E gets a good old bop in the face, and of course, we eat him since we are a cannibal after all, letting us get revenge just like we said with Piper's interview at public occurrences. We then lift the lockdown, beating more armed forces, and it is a heck of a lot of fun. We go to advanced systems, have a quick brawl with the Institute roaming around, and with a few more units crushed into the ground, we place the pulse charge, get teleported to the entrance, and we refuse the child simp since he's not Johnny Ironhand's son. He's never had any kids, so, that plot of the Institute kind of failed, so better luck next time, kid. Anyway, we get the clock out, press the pulse charge, ending the run, answering the question, can you beat Fallout 4 with a powerfist? And oh yes, yes you can, and my word is it a lot of fun. So there you go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh, the Power Fist run on Fallout 4, amazing. It sure felt good getting back to the Power Fist because it's one of my favourite weapons in Fallout, hands down. And got to admit, it's really awesome and amazing having a good weapon to do these challenges with. And the Power Fist, you just bop enemies in the face, and it's... Honestly, I just love being a bit of a brawler in Fallout. It's quite nice. As for the next challenge, we're actually going to go ahead and do a Skyrim as a werewolf, since it sounds like fun, and we can go berserk mode on anything and continue the brawling and all that good stuff. And there you go. Anyway, it's that time of the video, guys. So, like the video if you like the video. Comment down below if you just want to say hi, or top of the morning, or a cup of tea or something. And subscribe if you're new, all that good stuff. Anyway, take care, look after yourself. I hope you have a fantastic day and a beautiful evening. You guys are the absolute best. I wish you all the best. Please, please, please look after yourselves. Sending hugs from Insane Frame. And yeah, you guys make this channel amazing. So please just keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, cheers for being amazing audience members. This is Insane Frame signing off. So take care. And see you in the next one. Ta-ta, everyone. Goodbye for now.